Oh yes, hello good people. Thank you for watching my videos and welcome to today's video. In case you're new here, please kindly consider subscribing to this channel. My name is RachelOTalks, and in case you're joining us newly, please feel at home. I love you, and please kindly watch this video to the very end and consider subscribing, sharing and liking, and of course also let your friends and their friends know about us here so that they can come and as well subscribe to this channel. And for you, my beautiful returning subscribers, thank you very much for watching my videos. Thank you for showing me the love, the support, and everything that is keeping me going. And of course, I welcome you warmly to today's video. And today, as you can see from the title, I am talking about the simple strategies that all of us can use to deal with difficult people. You know, the people you view as being difficult or hard to deal with around you, at work, in your family, in our societies. Because the truth is, we have such people around us, and interestingly, you or me can as well be viewed as somebody who is so difficult to deal with. But all in all, once we meet such people that are difficult to deal with, we have to find means of dealing with them, because it's very, very important. Let me hope today's video is going to be very, very short. And by the wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And thank you for watching my videos. Please, if you're yet subscribed, just like I said at the beginning, please kindly consider subscribing so that we can grow together. Now, let's get down into it, because it's very common for you to identify that person who is so difficult to deal with, and it's very easy to deal with such a person, him or her, for as long as you have understood what to do. Dealing with a difficult person, interestingly, is largely has a lot to do with you or about you than that difficult person that you are carrying as a load on your head, or that specific person who is driving you crazy, or somebody who is driving you nuts. So please kindly watch to the end. I know by the time we get to the end, I would have shared my small insight about what I think can keep us moving on, can help us to deal with somebody we consider difficult to deal with. I'm saying this because I know that it's very clear, it's in black and white, that if you're to deal with a difficult person, the only thing you can do, the only thing that you have control over is you. Yes, the only thing we have control over is our reactions, and ourselves. You can't control what the other person thinks about you. You can't control how they're going to react about what you're doing or what you're saying, or even the way you look like. But the only thing that you can control is your reaction. How are you going to react to what they think about you? That's what is very important. Remember, we can't change how person X gets, weird or goes off track. We can't change and handle how the other person is responding to us. The only person who can control is us. I can control myself, you can control yourself, but you can't control person X. Thus, if you want to deal perfectly well or effectively with a difficult person, please first look into yourself, and then by that, I believe you're going to find a better way of dealing with the other person who you deem as, as being very difficult in your life. Yeah. So the purpose of this short video is to share with you, my lovelies, a few strategies that you can use or that we can use to handle people that we view as being, very difficult. Now, 1, develop your self-awareness. I am talking about self-awareness because self-awareness is a wonderful, rich tool that we can use in handling situations around us, at work, in families, communities, or wherever you are. Because when you become self-aware, you will take control of your surroundings. And of course, to become self-aware, you also have to practice, for example, noticing your feelings, for example, your triggers, what turns you on, what puts you off, what annoys you so fast, what puts your mood down, such things. And then the way we do what? The way we behave. Because we have to know that this is very, very important. Oh, I'm doing this while I'm holding my apple. So in case you see me, raising it here, I was having my fruits here, and this is going to be my next. So, in case you are not self-aware, you will not be able to deal with the very many things that are around you, including the difficult people. Thus, use your self-awareness, to know who is around you, to know who are you, what triggers you, what puts you down, what kills your moods, and everything like that. Because remember, those difficult people use the same things to get to you. Their emotions, their feelings, their triggers and everything like that. The way they behave and the way they react towards some things. So, if you're not self-aware, it will make it very difficult to understand that probably the other person is acting hyper, is acting in a weird way, in quotes, simply because maybe, his or her moods are all over the place and they're not controlling them. So, develop your self-awareness so that you can be able to be different from that difficult person, and also to know that they're the same tools that the other person could be using to get you, or to get on your nerves. So once you get good at the above, at developing your self-awareness, then this will help you to start viewing, or looking at both sides of the picture, then to help you to control your emotions, for example. It also let you, be able to choose the best way to respond to that difficult person and the difficult situation that he or she is, pushing you into or is making you go through. But remember, in doing this, we are trying our best not to allow anybody to cross the limits. You have to know where a certain person has to stop. Those limits that that the world shouldn't cross as they get to you. Because once you do that, you might end up becoming the world's playground. So, let's all develop our self-awareness, because it's key in helping us deal with difficult people. Then number two, it's crucial for us or for you to be assertive and then set up your boundaries, because you remember, once you become assertive, you'll be able to get self-control, just like I was saying. Then once you get your self-control, you'll be reasonable enough and fair enough, and it will help you to get more responsible, for your boundaries, for your actions, and of course, you will also take responsibility, for example, for yourself, your actions, and you will care for or care most about what matters to you. Once you've set your boundaries, once you've become assertive, you will definitely start caring more about what concerns you. You live alone, what does not, concern you. That means you'll be leaving the problem where it belongs. That is, you leave the problem person or the difficult person to where he belongs. Deal with what matters to you, what concerns you, and what doesn't matter to you, you push aside. So that means being assertive will help you to set your own limits. And after setting your own limits or those boundaries, just like I said up there, then that's when you'll be able to stand up for yourself, so that the world will not take advantage of you. And in talking about the world, that's where this difficult person that we're talking about falls. Thus, be assertive and set your own boundaries, because that's very, very important in dealing with a difficult person. And our number 3 or third strategy, please do more of listening than talking. Yes, be more of a listener than a talker. This especially is very important if the difficult person is talking or is into, this kind of habit or this behavior of talking, and talking. Please, if such a person is approaching you or has approached you and they are talking, please kindly give him that ear. Be all ears. Listen to him or to her. Give him a chance to explain himself or herself and to talk up to the conclusion without you interfering or interrupting at all. Remember, this is going to give him or her the satisfaction of having fully explained himself. I'm putting that, in quotes, fully explaining himself. I believe this is very hard to do or very difficult to do, because sometimes, people can speak and whatever they're talking about, you feel like, oh God, this is too much. This is wrong. This is not right. But what you want to create right now is the kind of satisfaction that the difficult person feels they should get. Yes, it's very hard to do, but please kindly try it, because the result may surprise you in a beautiful way or in a productive way. Just listen instead of being on the talking side. That way, it will help you to help that person get that kind of satisfaction. Yes, and as you're listening, please let the difficult person know that you are acknowledging his feelings. That's also very important. And later on, you can, for example, get to ask questions like about maybe if you think something was not clear enough and where you think it's really necessary. Yes, you can do so. But as you're doing that, do that in a way that will not hurt you, and also the way that's not going to hurt the other party, but rather a way that is fair enough. Remember, the key in this is that you will never control how somebody feels about you. The only thing you can control is how you respond towards what they feel about you, what they say about you, what they do to you. That's what you can control about. But the rest, you can never have anything like control over all about. Remember, most of the times it's about you. Yes, to know how to control yourself rather than struggling to control the other person. And then our number 4 or our 4th strategy today in relation to how to deal with a difficult person, please, where it is necessary, be as straight as possible and tell the other person or the difficult person that you are not happy, that you're not comfortable with his or her ways, or simply let them know that their way or their ways or their behavior or actions is not appropriate to you, and you're not comfortable with it, or you're not comfortable about what they're doing to you. In doing so, remember, this is like giving them feedback. Maybe somebody has been too difficult for too long, and you feel like, no, this is too much, enough is enough, I can't take this any further. Let me tell this person that actually I'm not comfortable with what they are saying or what they are doing, or just simply letting them that their behavior is not appropriate at all. Yeah, please, when you're doing this, ensure that you don't make it about the person in question. Here, the person in question that we're talking about in this video is the difficult person. Let them know that what you're talking about is about their actions. And this might call for you, using some examples known by both you and the difficult person. Maybe a recent action that he or she did, maybe something he recently said about you, anything that wasn't appropriate, so that this person knows that he as an individual is good, but the action is not, or was not. And also in giving such feedback, or in being open and speaking to this person, letting them know that how they behave towards you, maybe towards the other people, is not appropriate at all. You have to remain open-minded, because you don't know how that person is going to react. Yes, surprisingly, this difficult person might refuse to change, or even accept that they have been so difficult, or that they've been acting, in a weird manner. They've been, pushing you nuts, or doing crazy things to you or to other people, maybe in a group or at work or whichever community you are in. But since we already talked above that what we have control about is us, or is you, you're doing your part of letting them that they are not appropriate, or they're acting in a way which is not appropriate to you. But how they respond is completely their business. The only thing you have control about is you. And still, in this case, it means that the only thing you're going to control while you're giving them feedback, or while you're being straight to them, telling it to them directly, facing them eye to eye. However, in whichever way they're going to respond, that's completely their business. Your business is how you're going to react towards, how they are reacting. They react, you control the way you're going to react towards them, because that's your part. You can never have control over the other person. So even when you're doing this, remember, it can go either way. Even such a person can attack you. It's very possible. Yeah, by the way, in case you've watched this video up to this far, please kindly consider subscribing. You can also hit the notification bell, that bell icon, so that I can be able, to know that you've been watching, or that you've watched. And when you do that, you will also be able to know that something new has come up. You will not miss out on anything. For example, on such videos like this that you're watching today. And also remember, tell your friend about this channel, so that they can do what? So that they can subscribe, and show me some love. Also remember to leave down there in the comment section a sweet comment that will, make my day more, more wonderful, more warm, and more lovely. And finally, remember to stay calm in all situations, because you don't need to be hyper. If somebody's driving you nuts, don't also act in a weird manner that will make things worse, because that's also another way. When you remain calm, maybe you'll be able to control yourself better and control the situation better, just in case things are running out of hand. Yeah, and as I'm running to conclude this, please don't judge anybody. Even if you consider him or her as the most difficult person that you've met so far in your life, don't be too quick to judge, because people are broken. That's the truth. People are broken. They were wounded in those early days of theirs. in their childhood, things have not been going on very well with their lives, and probably they think that acting the way they are acting is the best way to act, towards situations. Maybe the way they speak is the best according to them. People are hurt, people are wounded. Please don't be too quick to do what? Don't be too quick to judge them. And finally, be very, very patient while dealing with a difficult person. Maybe people are depressed, maybe people are traumatized. Just like I've said, maybe people are too broken and they need to, they need something to mend their hearts, to mend their lives, to mend their speech, to mend their movements and relationships. So be patient. Sometimes you have to be understanding. You have to be, kind, and take time to understand why some people are acting the way they are doing towards you. But please, though I'm saying you have to be patient while dealing with those people, make sure that you don't put your life, your activities, everything about you under the control of someone else. Your peace is paramount, and you have a big role to play in creating your peace, in creating your happiness. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video. In case you've watched up to this time, kindly remember to subscribe if you've not yet done so. And if you're a returning subscriber, I love you so much. I appreciate your love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's meet in our next video. May God bless you. Take very good care of yourself. I love you, and God loves you. See you then.